we embark on a bone-chilling journey through the twisted shadows of a city's dark streets. Prepare yourselves for the terrifying tale of the Dancing Man, a terrifying encounter on the midnight streets. It was 5 years ago when the streets of a major U.S. city became the backdrop for a chilling and inexplicable encounter. Our story begins with a young individual, drawn to the night like a moth to a flame. They would take long walks to pass the time, their mind lost in contemplation as the world slept. But little did they know that one fateful night would forever shatter their sense of security. On a Wednesday, between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning, the city was unusually quiet, even for a weeknight. Traffic was scarce, and the streets were almost deserted. As our protagonist ventured through the dimly lit urban landscape, an encounter awaited them, one that would forever haunt their memories. In the distance, at the far end of the street, a silhouette emerged. A figure, seemingly male, began an unconventional dance. Their movements were both graceful and unsettling, resembling a waltz, but with an eerie twist. With each box step, they finished with a nod forward, drawing closer to our protagonist. As the figure approached, the observer's initial assumption of drunkenness faded. Their movements exuded an uncanny grace and precision, captivating and unnerving in equal measure. Clad in an old suit, the mysterious dancer revealed a face twisted into an unsettling caricature of a smile, their eyes wide and fixed on the sky. Instinctively sensing danger, our protagonist decided to cross the street, creating a distance between themselves and the enigmatic figure. Yet, their unease persisted as they continued to watch the dancers approach. To their astonishment, the figure mirrored their movements, crossing the street, perfectly parallel to our protagonist. Frozen in fear, our protagonist stood their ground, eyes locked with the unsettling stranger. The dancer's smile remained unyielding, their gaze fixed on the night sky. A surge of terror surged through the observers' veins as they attempted to find the courage to break free from the haunting encounter. As they finally summoned the strength to continue walking, the dancer mirrored their steps, engaging in a disturbing game of cat and mouse. With exaggerated tiptoed movements, the figure closed in rapidly, their pace akin to a cartoon character sneaking up on their unsuspecting prey. The chilling pursuit came to a halt as the dancer positioned themselves at a safe distance, their eyes still fixed on the sky, their smile unnaturally wide. Time seemed to stand still as our protagonist mustered the courage to confront their pursuer, their trembling voice uttering the question that echoed through the night. In response, a whimper escaped our protagonist's lips, a sound that carried their fear to the stranger. The dancer, unresponsive to their distress, maintained their unnerving smile and unwavering gaze. And then, with agonizing slowness, they turned around, resuming their eerie dance into the darkness. Fear gripped our protagonist as they watched the figure retreat. Yet, terror resurfaced when the dancer abruptly changed direction, running back toward them with alarming speed. Panic consumed our protagonist, propelling them to flee, their heart pounding with each frantic step. The chase continued until safety was finally within reach. Though the encounter ended, its impact endured. The protagonist's life was forever changed by the memory of that haunting face, etched deep within their psyche. The city, once a haven for nocturnal walks, became a place to be feared, a reminder of the night that madness danced in their presence. Join me as we step into the realm of the unknown, unearthing the chilling story of the Dancing Man, a terrifying encounter on the midnight streets. Together, we will unravel the mysteries that lie within the shadows and confront the very essence of fear itself. I live in a picturesque area known as the Poconos, where my family and I have made our home. Our house sits just a stone's throw away from a small, serene lake that has become a favorite spot for my children and me. The clear blue waters beckon us on sunny days, and it has been a joyous experience to take my kids down to the lake for swimming and relaxation. However, everything changed last week, and now I harbor an unshakable fear that prevents me from allowing my children near that once beloved place. It was a tranquil Saturday when my family and I decided to make our way over to the lake. The warm sand embraced our feet as we set up our chairs, creating our own little private beach right in our backyard. It had become a haven of happiness for us, where we could bask in the sunlight and watch the ripples of water dance. Laughing and splashing, my kids reveled in the shallows, their innocence shining through their youthful faces. I reminded them to stay close to the shore, cautious of the depths that awaited them. As the hours slipped away, my wife and I enjoyed each other's company from the comfort of our beach chairs. We soaked in the golden rays and marveled at the beauty of nature surrounding us. Eventually, my wife grew tired and decided to make her way back home, leaving me alone with the children for a little while longer. They seemed to be having the time of their lives, engrossed in building sandcastles and frolicking in the water. The sun began its descent, painting the sky with vibrant hues of orange and pink, casting a serene glow over the lake. Growing weary and concerned about the kids venturing too far into the water, I called out to them, urging them to come closer to the shore. To my dismay, my voice was lost amidst the sounds of their laughter and the lapping waves. Determined to ensure their safety, I rose from my chair and approached the water's edge, ready to call out to them once again. It was then that I caught sight of something unusual in the water. There, floating amidst the gentle ripples, was a peculiar black object, its round shape undulating closer to where my children played. Panic surged through my veins as I sprinted into the water, my heart pounding in my chest. I shouted for my children to come out, desperation lacing my voice. When they finally reached me, their expressions twisted in confusion, I hastily dragged them to safety. Turning my attention back to the water, I was greeted with an empty expanse. The black object had vanished without a trace. My kids bombarded me with questions, their innocent minds struggling to comprehend what had just transpired. Overwhelmed and unable to find the right words, I simply told them it was time to return home. With a heavy heart, we packed up our belongings and began the solemn walk back to our house. Arriving home, I found it difficult to shake the unease that gripped me. The image of that enigmatic object haunted my thoughts, and the fear of the unknown consumed me. As we gathered around the dinner table, my appetite waned, each bite accompanied by contemplation of the events at the lake. My wife, ever perceptive, sensed my unease and probed gently, asking me what was wrong. Choosing not to burden her with my troubling encounter just yet, I feigned tiredness and reassured her that everything was fine. After dinner, darkness cloaked the land, shrouding it in an impenetrable veil. However, my restless mind could not let go of the events that transpired. Resolving to confront my fear head-on, I grabbed a flashlight and embarked on a solitary journey back to the lake. The moonlight offered meager guidance as I treaded cautiously towards the water's edge. Doubt lingered in my mind as I questioned the wisdom of my decision. With flashlight in hand, I methodically swept its beam across the lake's surface, desperately searching for any remnants of the ominous black object. Suddenly, a deafening splash pierced the silence, reverberating through the night. My heart skipped a beat as my gaze darted in the direction of the sound. Perhaps it was merely an animal, I tried to reassure myself. Eager to dispel the mounting tension, I trained the flashlight on the area of the disturbance, longing for an explanation. What I saw shattered any semblance of rationality I clung to. Emerging from the darkness, a silhouette materialized before me, a humanoid figure with long, obsidian hair obscuring its entire face. It stood motionless, its gaze seemingly fixed on an unseen point in the distance. A wave of terror crashed over me, causing my grip on the flashlight to loosen. It plummeted from my grasp, illuminating the surrounding area for an instant before extinguishing with a dull thud. Panic engulfed me, and I sprinted back to my house, propelled by sheer terror. Upon reaching the safety of my home, I slammed the door shut, my breaths ragged and uneven. The encounter I had witnessed remained locked within the depths of my soul, tormenting me with its haunting presence. Consumed by fear and uncertainty, I chose to keep this nightmarish secret buried within me, convinced that sharing it would only elicit incredulity and judgment. Yet, the weight of the unknown gnawed at my sanity. Each passing night was plagued by the nagging suspicion that the lake, mere steps away from my home, concealed an ominous entity lurking beneath its serene surface. The notion that it might be watching me, its gaze fixated on my every move, invaded my thoughts as I sat alone, penning this account of the horrors I had witnessed. As I conclude this narrative, I am gripped by a sense of helplessness. The lake, once a source of joy and tranquility, has transformed into a sinister enigma. The truth remains shrouded in darkness, and I am left to ponder whether I will ever uncover the nature of that mysterious being. Perhaps, as I sit here, I am not alone, and those haunting eyes continue to peer through my window, their intentions forever veiled in secrecy. Tonight, we unravel the chilling tale of an unsettling assignment that forever changed the life of a cleaner in Australia. Prepare yourselves for the harrowing story of the unsettling assignment, a cleaner's encounter with a disturbing connection. In the mid-80s, amidst the tranquil landscapes of Australia, a cleaner embarked on an ordinary day of work, unaware of the darkness that lay hidden within an innocent request. Our story begins with a phone call, a voice reminiscent of age and secrecy, reaching out to the cleaner, who we will refer to as Mom. The woman on the other end, claiming to be around 60, made peculiar demands, setting the stage for a series of eerie events that would unfold in an old farmhouse. Curiosity mingled with caution as the elderly woman refused to meet Mom in person. She insisted on leaving the keys under the doormat, an unusual circumstance that raised red flags. However, enticed by the promise of substantial payment and fueled by her professionalism, Mom reluctantly accepted the job. The farmhouse stood in isolation, surrounded by vast empty fields. As Mom approached the property, a sense of unease settled over her. The long driveway seemed to stretch endlessly, leading her deeper into a world veiled in mystery. Reluctantly, she retrieved the keys from under the doormat and entered the old farmhouse. An hour into her cleaning, an ominous sound resonated through the house, a distinct shut of the back door. Panic surged through Mom's veins as she realized that she was alone in a house that was supposed to be unoccupied. Fear consumed her as she stood frozen in the kitchen, grappling with the possibility of an intruder lurking within the shadows. Torn between her instincts to flee and her commitment to completing the job, Mom ventured further into the house, haunted by the uncertainty of her surroundings. 2 bedrooms remained, demanding her attention. As she mustered the courage to enter one of the bedrooms, she stumbled upon a disturbing revelation. Scattered across the bed lay a collection of black and white photographs, each capturing moments from Mom's life. Some depicted her own family home, while others showcased various houses she had cleaned. It became evident that these photos were taken from a distance, often through windows or over fences. An overwhelming sense of violation washed over Mom as she realized she had become the subject of an unseen voyeur. Disturbed and unnerved, Mom wasted no time in contacting the authorities, using the house phone to report the alarming discovery. Fueled by fear, she swiftly left the premises, seeking solace at the end of the long, eerie driveway. The elderly woman responsible for the house remained under suspicion, although she adamantly claimed innocence, asserting that it was a break-in. In the aftermath of this chilling encounter, the investigation reached a stalemate. However, the impact of the incident lingered, unsettling Mom and her family. Determined to find respite, they made the difficult decision to uproot their lives, leaving behind the haunting memories of that isolated farmhouse. Now, at the age of 22, the remnants of this unsettling assignment continue to haunt the mind of Mom. It serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind seemingly ordinary encounters, forever etching a sense of vulnerability and caution in their heart. Join me as we venture into the shadows, peeling back the layers of mystery that shroud the unsettling assignment, a cleaner's encounter with a disturbing connection. Together, we will confront the chilling consequences of trust misplaced and the lasting impact of those who intrude upon our lives.